Hello friends, 578 days over. The Polish Prime Minister said, "Never again insult the Poles the way Zelensky did during his speech at UN. The Poles will never allow this." Guess when did he raise this nationalist feeling? When he was meeting with the voters, which was broadcasted. Even yesterday, I had mentioned the feeling of the Polish government, which is being surpassed by the Ukrainian government, especially Zelensky, even though the Poles are very close to NATO and USA, because despite their territory and active support, the Ukraine operation will come to a halt. The Ukrainian military is continuing its effort to shell Crimean Peninsula. The Russian air defense forces were again activated as more rockets approached in waves, which included anti-ship missiles, drones, 7 plus Storm Shadow. Russia claims to have neutralized most of them. Ukrainians continuing shelling towards Belgorod, Donetsk region and other parts of Russian territory. Russians hit targets in Odisha, Zaporizhia, Dnipropetrovsk with missiles and UAVs and continuing their interdiction missions. From the war zone in south on Zaporizhia front towards Orikho, Ukrainians attempted to storm Russian army defense line near Verbov but did not succeed. Though Ukraine claims that it did manage to gain some land. Their sabotage and reconnaissance groups tried to approach northeast of Novopokrovivka. The Ukrainians claim to have advanced north of this village, though Russian claims that there were no gains at all and Ukrainians had to withdraw after heavy losses. Kiev and Western media claim success on Zaporizhia front, but Russian army denies the claim and have said that it successfully repelled and destroyed many armor vehicles and troops belonging to Ukraine. On Vermivka salient and also towards Novodonetsk and Novomayorsky, no changes. In East Bakhmut front, intensive fight is continuing, especially towards Klishivka and Andrivka, though Andrivka remains a grey zone. Ukrainians reached and attacked Eastern Railway line but had to withdraw. Fight is also on in Andrivka and towards Kurdyumovka. Towards Marinka and Avdiivka, no changes. Northwest of Bakhmut, again no changes. In north towards Kupiansk-Swatovo criminal line, positional battle continues. In Swatovo, Ukrainians are busy in rotating its units, while Russia seems to be preparing for another launch of counter-attack, but as of now, no changes. Other informations: USA will be providing Abrams tanks as well as ATACMS, that is Army Tactical Missile Systems, which has got range up to 300 km. There are many questions that will this change the war direction. Let us wait and watch, and especially when the winter is approaching. Same time, fatigue among the Ukrainian troops is being talked about on media, social media and even in Western media. I am sure that Ukraine will deny this, and looking at the morale of their soldiers, it seems that they are still continuing with all the losses. Zelensky's request to address US Congress seems to have been denied, and in the meantime there are protests, huge ones in Armenia against Karabakh deal, where they feel that their government has capitulated to US and Azerbaijan. Some observations and analysis. Ukraine's counter-offensive, even if not failed, is bogged down and is limited in 3 to 4 selected places like Orikho, Rimivka and in southwest Bakhmut due heavy casualties and loss of weapon systems. War fatigue, even it is being denied, but can be felt on both the sides. Russian army, as it seems its strategy, continuing its defensive offensive on the entire battlefront, aiming on war attrition, that is maximum to Ukraine while minimizing its own. On interdiction missions, as per me, the Ukrainians are wasting their war effort because of selection of wide range deeper inside the war zone in hope of weakening Russian army, but there are no signs of achieving its goal except few. Though they seems to have learned some lessons, like in last few months they have not indulged into assassination and sabotage activities, but continue in targeting civilian infrastructure in Donetsk and other regions, and even civilians, in hope of breaking the morale of Russian populations. But it is unlikely that they will achieve this particular aim. The supply of clustered munitions and depleted uraniums by the West has exposed their so-called democratic faces. Lastly, Russia has banned export of diesel and gasoline to all countries except Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. A trade war launched by Russia just before the winter starts. The worst sufferer will be the European Union, the vassal of Washington. And that's all. Thank you.